Hi, this is Dawn Shireen. Welcome to my podcast, Dancing with Bipolarredux. It is Monday, August 4th, and it's about 7:30 at night. So, I think when I left Flagstaff, I alluded to the fact that I probably wasn't going to be, quote-unquote, off-duty for long right before God presented me with some kind of a new mission or a role or whatever the fuck. So, here we are. It didn't take long. So I'm just gonna be blunt here and just say, yeah, I have a way of absolutely attracting every sociopath on the planet to my milkshake, and I did it again. Hey! Fortunately, I had a lot of red flags and bells and whistles and weirdness coming up, but that dude, Doc Landon, that I thought maybe something, whatever, no. Dude's name, his actual name is Landon Steele. He goes by Landon Langley. If you look up the name, yep, that's him, the one with all the army stuff that may or may not be real, or all the abused women stuff that may or may not be real, or all the stuff that may or may not be real. That's the one. Well, wouldn't it just be my luck that I would get to meet him here at the Palms in beautiful Rapid City? And that's what happened. So, fortunately, I don't know. I think it's still kind of ongoing. I don't know what's happening. I was pretty much hard stalked over this weekend, pounding on my door and everything when, I decided that I was just no contact, right? I have no reason to have to explain to somebody that I literally just met, why I want to go no contact when they're not going to understand anyway, when they can just forget the screaming for 2 hours on the phone at me and then hanging up on me, thank God. And then the inviting me to something where you promised I wouldn't be made the butt of the joke, and, what? I am. That was one time too many, because I don't ever give second chances, and I actually gave a second chance this time to try to fix something, but, yeah, no. And, the dude's unhinged. I don't know if the gun he carries is actually even really registered or not. It just seems like the simple things in life are the things that people forget to ask about, and, I feel like I legitimately dodged a bullet on this one, and, I'm gonna steer pretty clear for as long as I possibly can. It's not the same as Flagstaff, but it's similar, I don't know if they had guns in Flagstaff. I know for sure this dude has a gun locked and loaded, and I also know he has a very intimidating dog, so both aspects of this are pretty not cool. But like I said, I don't know what's happened since, today's Monday? So, Saturday night, actually, when everything was going crazy. Now, besides the fact that it's also rally for Sturgis, and I was warned about the door knocking before Sturgis about how and this place looks like a hotel, kind of. So people randomly just come and knock on doors, and if you're dumb enough to open your door, then you've just opened yourself up to whatever the fuck it is. So whether it was him or somebody else or one of his cronies or one of his enemies or one of his whatever, or just some rando off the street, I'm not answering my door if I don't have a phone call ahead of time, and seeing that you have been blocked on all fronts, that should say something to you. I legitimately can't believe I'm going through this again, and this dude has a record of this, so I mean, if it comes down to it, it'll be easy to prove. I'm just concerned about somebody with a loaded gun running around an apartment complex when they definitely have some form of an alcohol problem, and dissociate from real life, I believe sometimes is what's happening here. So look it up at the Palms here in Rapid City. So other than that, and trying to lay low and hopefully not get dead, and all because, Well, his lies weren't adding up, and then he yelled at me that night and totally disregarded me, and at that point I was like, hell yeah, no. And I think I had changed the status in a relationship for a little under 12 hours, and then changed it straight back to widowed from Christopher. So yeah, that's better. And and then he invited me to a quote unquote cookout with the lady who thinks I'm not good enough to be with him, but the homeless chick coming out of the really questionable guy's apartment is cool to stay in his apartment. Anyway, I saw her all lurping around my windows this weekend, so I don't know if she's the one who left the flowers in front of my door and the copy of Our Daily Bread, which, really? Like, honestly, like, what? All because I didn't want to come back to a cookout where I was made fun of when I was told I would not be. And you had already left and walked away because I showed up and you were mad at me. So, I just like walk away from the whole situation. I don't want anything to do with any of y'all. Y'all have yourselves. Leave me alone over here. You stay over there. I'll go the long way to get my mail, and never the twain shall meet, right? So, that's kind of what I think. But if there's more pounding and more weird shit going on, I really hate calling cops, for real. For real, for real. I hate doing that. As long as they don't break the door or the window, I ain't just gonna fucking pound all night. Somebody else is eventually gonna call. Or not. But eventually you're gonna get tired of pounding on the door. So, that's what I have to say about that. And so yeah, like I was saying, this Sturgis, it's rally, and there's, the feel in the air is just different if anybody here is an empath and can, like, read energies. And it's just the influx of people, and I'm thinking 90% of the people on bikes are really, really good people, and 90% of the influx of actual motor vehicles coming into town are really, really good people. But there's 10% in each group that are probably not really, really good people, and they unfortunately make up 100% of the new population that we have in the Black Hills. I was really gonna try to figure out a way to go see Yellow Wolf, and I'm really thinking that that's a bad, super bad, bad idea to do that, especially at this time. I'm already having enough trouble with one person here who I don't know what the end goal is, but again, it's not gonna work. It's just, I don't know if he got a hold of the guy on Flagstaff because I told him about it, if he thought he was gonna be smart and cute and try to antagonize me and intimidate me. But, that shit doesn't really work with me. I mean, the only thing he can actually do is, like, legitimately shoot me dead with his quite possibly illegal guns. But I've kind of, hopefully, maybe got attention regarding that, so that will be taken care of. So I don't have to put my name on any kind of forums or anything like that and claim that I have anything to do with anything that may or may not come down. So that's that. Obviously still alive, right? Just really tired of this, and like, if this is what I signed up for when I came back from, when I committed suicide and then came back, was to be like some kind of perpetrator or slayer for God, I would have taken it. So, it's just, I don't feel like I didn't get any time off from it, but in all actuality, I got months off of it, so, and this is kind of cut and dry and simple and just, stupid. Why can't people just take, like, no for an answer and just leave it alone, especially when they're inciting the riot in the relationship, or in the relationship here. The guy's dog is extremely intimidating, and just that alone, like, makes me not real keen to, yeah, it's just all bad. Anyway, I'm gonna make this, and, I gave you all the name in the beginning if you're interested, check it out. And yeah, that's who I'm actually dealing with. I have actually spoken to some other venues of people about some things to do with this, so I mean, who's safe, right? What is that? That's a relative word. But, if things go awry, people know that something's really off here. Yeah, so that's all I'm gonna say. My mental health fucked. Totally fucked. Absolutely paranoid, scared. terrified that he's gonna actually come and shoot me through my front window to make some kind of point about, you know, showing some balls and not just letting him manipulate me and tell me what to do. I mean, if he had listened to anything I said, he would know that over 4, you know, within the past 4 years, I was in the cult, and then I had all this stalking shit going down on North First Street, and I survived both of those. So, in a safer apartment with more people around, and a whole lot of reasons why it's harder, in all actuality, to kill me than it was in Flagstaff. You'd think that maybe it would just stop, and I'm giving them ample opportunity to stop without putting anything on the record. So, this is my first public announcement about what's going on with Landon Steele against me. Maybe either way, it's not all good. Haven't looked or listened to the voicemails. I'm saving them for a future date, and I don't want to read them and get all upset and have react the way that they want me to, right? Because everything's for the camera, but we're not going to get any of that. Nope. Learned my lesson from Flagstaff. I was trained well, and I'm not falling for it. I'm not falling for gifts outside the door. I bring them inside, and then I've accepted something, and I've opened shit back up again. Beside the fact, who knows? You could be putting fucking drugs or snakes or fucking some kind of poison. Who knows? This shit's too dangerous, and I'm not doing it. So here we are again. But this one is not gonna go on as long as it did in Flagstaff. I can promise you. Anyway, I'm okay for tonight. Annoyed. But, you know, it is what it is. I will definitely survive this, and, and on to the next one, I guess. God. Ay. Anyway, this is Don Shireen. Thanks for listening to Dancing with Bipolar Redu, and hey, let's all stay alive, okay? Later.